welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something a little different. We're diving into a collection of personal reflections from someone named Sergi. It's like we stumbled upon his blueprint for life, and now we get to decode it with you.
It is kind of like we're time travelers. We're getting a sneak peek into someone's self-discovery journey. And we have it all laid out right here in front of us. Sergi's dreams, his obstacles, his whole life map.
And he starts off strong, telling us what makes him feel most alive. Creating projects, things that make the world a little brighter. But here's where it gets interesting. He didn't just talk about it. He actually created this podcast as a way to put himself out there. Actions speak louder than words, am I right?
Oh, absolutely. Creating something tangible like this podcast shows he's serious. It's not just him daydreaming, He's taking those first steps towards living a life of purpose.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward 5 years. Sergi's painted this really vivid picture of what his ideal day looks like. Mountaintop meditation, breakfast fit for a king. Is this like the ultimate self-actualization starter pack?
It's definitely a power move, but
Yeah.
if you take a closer look, it's more than just these luxurious details. It's the sunrise. It's the healthy living. It's all about aligning his environment with his inner goals. He's crafting a life that supports his mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And a key part of that life, he says, is finding a partner who's on the same wavelength. He's not just looking for someone to share a mountaintop picnic with. He wants someone who really gets his mission.
Right. And that's so important. For Sergi, a romantic relationship isn't separate from his goals. It's intertwined with them. It's like he's saying, to truly achieve what I'm meant for, I need someone who not only accepts my journey, but wants to be a part of it.
It really makes you think about the power of shared purpose, huh? But let's not get lost in the clouds of romance just yet. There's another section where Sergi gets almost prophetic. It's like he's looking back on his life and imagining what advice he'd give his younger self.
Yeah, and it's pretty profound. The wisdom he offers is so simple, but so powerful. Trust yourself. Let go. Listen to your heart. These aren't just feel-good phrases. They're hard-won lessons.
You can just feel the weight behind them, right? It's like he's saying, hey, I've been there. I've learned from my mistakes, and now you don't have to.
Exactly. It speaks to the importance of self-compassion, especially on a journey like this. He's learned to handle uncertainty, to trust his intuition. Those are things we could all stand to be reminded of from time to time.
And the road to those lessons might be paved with what Sergi calls his karmas. Now, before we get too deep here, remember, we're talking about these as like recurring patterns or challenges, not some kind of cosmic judgment. Everyone's got their own stuff to work through.
Right, exactly.
And for Sergi, that first karma is this feeling of being out of sync. Like he doesn't quite belong,
Yeah.
He even talks about being that sensitive kid just trying to find his place.
Oh, I totally get that.
Which makes him even more relatable, don't you think? And it makes you wonder, if we think about his passion for helping others, maybe those early struggles were like training for his life's purpose. He gets it because he's lived it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like his empathy comes from those experiences, that feeling of being on the outside, looking in. It can make you really in tune with other people's struggles.
You're spot on. And then there's this other karma, which is really interesting. It's this challenge of grounding his energy, like his big, vibrant energy, grounding it into the material world.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's got this boundless spirit, but maybe he hasn't figured out how to channel it consistently, you know?
That's a good way to put it. And what's interesting is that he doesn't see it as a weakness. He sees it as an opportunity to grow, to find that balance between the ethereal and the practical.
Exactly. And mastering it not just for himself, but to be an even better guide for others. It's like he's saying, hey, I'm figuring this out as I go, but here's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
Which is a great transition because speaking of learning, let's move on to a more exciting section. Sergi's talents. And we're not talking party tricks here, folks. This is next level stuff.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
The first one that really jumps out is being a channel for peace and protection. What do you make of that?
It's really powerful, isn't it? It suggests he's got this innate ability to create a safe and supportive environment, which, by the way, aligns perfectly with his coaching goals.
It's like he has this calming presence where people feel seen, heard, like they can actually be vulnerable and grow. And then on top of that, there's this other talent, a strong spiritual potential. And again, this isn't about being preachy or anything. It's about recognizing that deep need for meaning and purpose.
Totally.
That feeling of being part of something bigger.
And I think that resonates with a lot of us.
Absolutely.
That search for meaning, it's universal. Sergi just seems to tap into it on another level.
He does.
And I think that's a big part of what draws people to him,
It's like he's tapped into that human need we all have, to feel like our lives have meaning, like we're part of something bigger. And maybe that's the common thread here. It connects the self-discovery, the talents, the drive to help others. It all leads to his objectives and that powerful mission statement.
It's true. It's like we spent all this time looking at the raw materials of his blueprint, right? And now we're finally seeing how he wants to build something incredible with it.
And it starts with getting creative, right?
Yes. Pushing those boundaries, finding new ways to really make a difference.
He even talks about expanding his reach, inspiring people on a larger scale.
Yeah.
This isn't just about one-on-one coaching anymore. This is about sparking real change.
Exactly. He's thinking big picture, long-term vision. And you know what? To achieve that kind of impact, he knows it takes more than just good ideas.
What else?
You have to be able to communicate those ideas. You have to connect with people.
He actually mentions wanting to be that kind of speaker. The one who doesn't just inform you, but ignites something within you.
It's a powerful thing.
The kind of speaker who leaves you buzzing with possibility, ready to take on the world.
And what I find fascinating is how he ties that back to coaching. It's not about giving people the answers, It's about empowering them to find their own voice, to tap into their own strength.
To find their own answer.
Exactly. He wants to be that catalyst for self-discovery.
Which brings us to what I think is the heart of this whole blueprint. Sergi's mission statement.
Right.
And this isn't just some corporate jargon, This is a declaration of purpose.
Absolutely. He's crystal clear about his desire to create lasting change, deep, meaningful transformation.
He wants to guide people through that process, the messy, beautiful process of becoming who they're meant to be.
It's powerful stuff.
It really is. And he sees coaching as a privilege, a way to make a real difference in the world. It's inspiring. It really is. So we've spent all this time decoding Sergi's blueprint. We've uncovered his dreams, his challenges, his driving purpose. But now it's time to turn the mirror inward, because the real question is, what does all of this spark in you?
Right.
If this were your blueprint, what would resonate most with you right now?
What part of your own journey is calling for your attention? Maybe hearing Sergi's story will inspire you to take that first step, that brave leap toward your own version of a life well lived. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. And remember, the most incredible blueprints are the ones we're still creating.